Alrighty, long time no see, no talk. And today, like my title says, what the fuck is Brie Larson doing? Essentially, what is she doing? Who is Brie Larson? This is her most famous moment. Let's check it out together.
To receive this award, so I cannot thank my family and my team, and instead talk about something that's really important to me. I'd like to bring to light an aspect.
It's very, very important, guys. Very important.
Of our history that has risen to the surface in the last week. It's an issue that's been bubbling since really the whole time, but this issue has a solution that each one of us in this room can participate in. So earlier this week, USC Annenberg's Inclusive Initiative released findings that 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males. Less than a quarter were white women, and less than 10% were unrepresented men. Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color. So you're probably thinking right now, wow, that super doesn't represent the country that I live in, and that's because that's true. This is a huge disconnect from the U.S. population breakdown of 30% white men, 30% white women, 20% men of color, and 20% women of color. So why does that matter? Why am I...
Yeah, why does that matter? It's a very strange thing. Like, I don't know how many people sit around and think about that sort of stuff, but that's fascinating, Brie.
Up here giving statistics when I could be spending this time talking about my publicist, Lindsay, who I love, and thank you so much for bringing Jesse up here and making me super emotional while I rattle off percentages of people. On top of all of this, am I saying that I hate white dudes? No, I'm not. But what I am saying is that you make a movie that is a love letter to women of color. There is an insanely low chance a woman of color will have the chance to see your movie and review your movie.
Okay, let's start there. So, I don't know. I don't know what it's like in the United States of America. Do women of color, do they have issues getting into the movie theater? Are they not allowed in movie theaters? And when you go to write a movie review on one of the many movie review sites, does a wee box come up with, "Are you a woman of color? Did you know you're not allowed to review this movie? You're only 20% of the U.S. population. Damn it." No, it's nonsense. But let's keep going.
And this is also not to mention other people besides white dudes like Star Wars and would love the opportunity to do a set visit. And I'm also saying I don't hate white dudes.
Okay, that's great that you don't hate white dudes. But what the fuck kind of comment is that? People of color aren't allowed on set of Star Wars? What is she on about? Maybe she's going to cite evidence. We'll find out.
I'm just saying we need to be conscious of our bias and do our part to make sure that everyone is in the room. So what would it take for the critic pool to match this 30-30-2020 real-world breakdown? And how can we get there? Well, here I am. It's easier than you might think. The bottom line is that if each of the top 100 films in a year added 9 critics that are 3 underrepresented males, 3 white females, 3 underrepresented females, and the average critic pool would match the U.S. population in just 5 years.
Okay, but what happens if you can't find those people? What if women of color don't want to review movies? What if they're not interested? People have different tastes. And yeah, there is Hollywood elitism. That's absolutely true. But you're a product of that. You're a white woman in Hollywood. You're the most privileged. You're one of the most privileged people. You're like the top 1% of the planet. This is foolishness. You're a white woman.
Super simple. It really sucks that reviews matter, but reviews matter. Good reviews out of festivals give small independent films a fighting chance to be bought and seen. Good reviews help films grow.
True. So you should be happy with whoever reviews these things, no matter what they look like. That's idiotic.
Money, good reviews slingshot films into awards contenders. A good review can change your life. It changed mine. Our industry has gone through a major growth.
That's great, but do you want a real review, or do you want one that's full of a whole lot of talking points, like the reviews on Star Trek Discovery on Rotten Tomatoes? All these women giving it reviews saying it's the most progressive Star Trek ever, which is not true. But yeah, what you're saying is just kind of crazy.
Like so excited. You're like, yeah, that one time.
Okay, no more. So this is the woman who's going to play Captain Marvel, right? So we go over to Rotten Tomatoes. Right. So this is where the story continues. Rotten Tomatoes have not reviewed, but they have removed the want to see. So you can't see how the crowd is feeling about this. Now, this is the first time Rotten Tomatoes has done this. I've never really said Rotten Tomatoes is a good indicator or a scientific indicator to see how good a film is or not. Sometimes it's interesting to discuss the audience ratings, but the critic reviews of every superhero film is almost every superhero film, especially in the last few years, is almost disproportionately all in the high 80s to 90%. And it doesn't really, I don't agree with that. I don't think these are quality movies. I mean, don't get me wrong, most of them are well made, they're good enough, but are they high quality movies? Are they of the quality of a movie like Inception? In my opinion, no. It was really weird listening to Brie Larson talk about Star Wars. But I think there's something to that with this whole removal of the audience wanting to see. They're afraid that everyone's going to bomb their shit. No, I get that. There are trolls, but there are also people who listen to the speech that I just played, which is one of many, many, many things that Brie Larson has come out and said, and it rubs people the wrong way. It does. There's a charity flying underprivileged little girls to a movie theater to see Captain Marvel. What would be really honorable, Brie? Okay, considering that you can personally financially benefit from this, what would have been better is, I don't know, build them some water wells, donate food, not buy them tickets to a movie that you're going to personally financially gain from. Okay? So Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel has never really been a big character anyway. But like Aquaman, really. But who the hell cares? This is not a first. You're not the first woman hero of anything. Maybe in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you got your first standalone female movie, but this is not a big deal. It's not. I'm sorry. You come out and you say ridiculous comments about women of color not being allowed to review movies. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to go and force those women of color to review movies? Maybe they don't want to. This is the thing about freedom of choice. Just like people have the freedom of choice to say, nah, not interested in Captain Marvel, but that's been taken away, as we can see here. So yeah, Brie Larson, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and is doing basically all she can to sabotage her own movie of a very successful film franchise. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is very successful. I'm not a particularly massive fan, but you know, How do you kill a $2 billion franchise? Well, what you do is you go out and you attack 40% of those people, white men. You go out and you attack them. And then you make a whole lot of. See, this is the thing that really always gets to me, is that white women seem to think that they can talk on behalf of minorities and people of color, as they say. Honestly, isn't that offensive? A white woman who's going to talk to you about your struggles? I mean, come on. How condescending. How out of touch. And how foolish. What a privileged, spoiled woman. Brie Larson, what's the point? What is the point in any of this shit you are doing? The movie is going to be a success. It will not be a massive failure. But it's not going to break down walls, barriers, or change the world. I'm sorry. It's mediocre. It's going to be mediocre. Okay. And even without all this PR, this bogus PR, it was not going to be that fucking massive anyway. It wasn't going to be a $2 billion movie, $1 billion movie. It doesn't mean shit. Okay, Brie? More people are excited about the cat in Captain Marvel than Captain Marvel herself. And that is an impressive feat. That's all I got to say about that. Until next time.